Good morning, YouTube. This video is the first in a series of progress reports, if you will, as we're making our way through the game Paladin's Quest, otherwise known as SNES, in Japan, I believe. And I decided to do this progress report because for those of you who have looked through my videos, you'll know that way back when I was going through Luke Morse 1's videos, I actually did a progress report series on going through what was at the time I think 800 some odd videos. Obviously it's significantly higher now, but anywho. First things first, let's give some backstory on what Paladin's Quest is actually about. Paladin's Quest tells the story of Chenzi, a 13-year-old male who decided he wanted to become a great spiritualist. Well, he goes to a town that has a very well-run magic school. And on a dare from a student by the name of Duke, decides to climb the Tower of Gabnid to go all the way to the top just to see what the hell is up there. Well, upon pushing a button all the way at the top of the tower, Duke runs like a coward, leaving Chenzi all alone to face what is referred to as the Dalgren, a big monster that, in a battle that you pretty much know is going to be one side, obliterates them and obliterates the entire town. Chenzi wakes up, however, to find the town completely destroyed, and the master, upon realizing that he was the one to wreck shit up, or cause shit to get fucked up, decides that you woke it up, you're the one that's going to be responsible for destroying it. And thus begins the journey. Now, the first town we pay a visit to is a town called the Ratzer. Well, that's a pretty simple place to go to, because it's right next to the former magic school town that you just obliterated. In Ratzer, we're going to learn you have to go pick up a spirit, because in this game magic is done through spirits and by the casting of your HP. A really weird quirk, if I must say. So he picked that up, picked up some other odds and ends, and then did some heavy leveling. Now, leveling was more for the spirit that we had picked up, not so much the actual experience level, although that helps, trust me. Maxed out the fire spell, boop, off we go to where we need to go to next. Well, next, we went to a place called Retsutar Island. This is where, excuse me, we met a man named Fritz, who decided he was going to help us find a girl named Midia. This also, by the way, was the request of the people of the town of Ratzer. After laying waste to 3 goblins who decided they were going to try and be Billy Badass and beat the fuck out of us, they torched the town, but we still got out of there with no issue. And then it was off to go find Midia. Well, we did that. We found her in a cave on the island. And we beat a boss named Alonzo. Fairly simple, considering that we had the fire spirit all maxed out and he only had 297 HP. The next trip we had to take, however, was to a place called the Scooter Camp, which was right above a hut where you could save your game and rest up and whatnot. This camp was where we met our second, or if you want to go there technically, third recruit. Although even we haven't really officially started recruiting yet at this point. But this is our third story character that we needed. And his name was Tiger. He is a master of wind magic, so his break spells definitely helped out in his cave. Trust me on that one. Stayed around there, leveled up a little bit because we need to get some affinities maxed up. Specifically the light one, the lightning spirit for Medea. Once we took care of that, went in there and started wrecking shit up. We had to unfortunately go and go fix a bridge, and to do that we had to go get some tools. Well, to do that we had to provoke a boulder to follow us and then dry up the river so we can get the tools and get back up to get up top of the mountain, lay waste to the boss there, and on we went. Unfortunately, where we were going next, that wasn't exactly a fun place to be. Oh, by the way, the name of the mountain, Mount Denebra. Well, after we took care of that, we had to go to one of the 2 stumbling blocks that I've encountered when I was trying to beat this game many times before. The place is called Hagudo Town, and it's mine. This town's not exactly a tourist destination. Well, not when you first get there, because of motherfuckers surrounded by lava. We had to go get a we had to go get a mercenary whose name is Smash to lower the lava. Well, there was just one problem. He wasn't going to do that until we got the till we got the piano player to actually play a song. Well, that wasn't going to happen unless we got 2 dancers to come help us. Well, how do we do that? We had to go get some scales down at the bottom of a well, go up and go, and then go give them to the one that was actually sick. Now you can imagine how much fun this was. Actually, it wasn't that bad because we were pretty well and good on our spirits for the time being. So after we did what we needed to do, we took them to the inn, and we had the piano player play the song "God Om Heaven," which was a song Smash wanted him to play in the first place. Now, Smash, I neglected to mention, had a little bit of a problem. He was suffering from depression. Why? Well, you see, when the lava went batshit, it closed up the mine and it killed his son. Yeah, I would depress anybody. So we handled our business there. And then, once he took care of what he needed to take care of for us, which is stop the lava flow by blowing it up, he went and did his thing and went to a town that we were getting ready to go to called Terrain. This The thing was, we were going to need a mercenary. This is going to be interesting. The first mercenary you pick up is a guy named Gorf, who happens to be in the same town. Once we picked him up, off to the races we went. Once we picked him up, we headed off to the city of Durin. This was the second place where I usually ended up stopping. And believe it or not, this town is famous at first for nothing but rain. And actually now we're up to the point of the game where we're just about up to where we are now. See, in this city, it's famous for rain. Where the fuck are we, Seattle? And we had to go into a tower to go stop some renegades. Well, the first thing we actually had to do was go into an underground temple and use a crown, which we had gotten earlier in the game for Midia, called Sophie's Crown, and use that to charge up an idol. Or excuse me, use the idol to charge up the crown. We also had to get a map. Once we got out of the underground section, we went back, rested up, healed, because we were going to seriously need to. Then we went into the actual floating tower, picked up some items, and went and beat the shit out of some renegades. There was 2 of these bad boys. So we beat the piss out of them. Oh, of course we had to bring some friends with us for this one. So we did. And if you're wondering, I actually don't have it here. One was named Dan, and I forget what the other dude's name was. Zoran. There we go. Now, Dan was cool. Zoran was cool because he had a boomerang, which means he could go and hit a group of enemies. Dan had a weapon that could hit twice as long as it on the same enemy, and hopefully you were lucky enough that it would. And we also, of course, like I said, we beat up the renegades, made them cry mama. But of course, we also were healing like a son of a bitch because the enemies in there hit like a mother. We also, by the way, I neglected to mention, picked up the lightning spirit for Chenzi, so he got to learn the bolt spell. He also learned a thing called blow up, which is a fuck all spell because it obliterates or hits every enemy on the screen. Thankfully, I usually save that if I've got a shitload of enemies on there and they're a nice variety. Then I just go, here you go, boom, have a nice day. Of course, I also now have the bulk roof spell, so I might not be using that as much. But we'll see. And then from there we headed off to a humble little place called Dobor, which is where we actually are and where we have stopped. We are at level 21 currently. Well, no, I'm sorry. That's the level they say you need to be at. We're actually at level about 25 or 26. And this town's a little tricky because there's actually two weapon shops. One is visible, but the weapons are kind of shite. The better one is hidden. To go there, you go to a house west of your shop, and you have to literally input in a code. In order to be able to put that code in, however, you have to heal a girl in the town who is poisoned. This is what the antidote, or in this game they're called antidote bottles, are for. By the way, those are bottles called bomb bottles. I forgot to mention that, and they are held by Smash and Gorf because they're mostly demolition dudes. So, we have now taken the liberty of going in there and grabbing some more recruits. One of them is named... I'm sorry. One of the mercenaries is named Destroyer. The other one's named Slayer. Here's the tricky part. You can get both of them, but if you want to literally save your money, no joke, you have to ditch Destroyer before you walk in to the next town. Why? Because if you don't, he walks off with half your money. I wish I was joking. So when we get to that next town, which is what we'll probably be doing tomorrow, actually this is what we'll be doing tomorrow, and for the next couple of days we're really going to be full speed ahead on the game. Let me just tell you this right now, I haven't had this much fun playing a video game, even especially a JRPG, in a long ass time. And to be perfectly honest, trying to do this in even under 20 minutes was a hard thing to do, because I was trying to be as detailed as what we did without maybe giving too much away. There was quite a bit of spirit grinding, although now that we've actually gotten certain spirits to mix and match, we can actually really make it fun, because we'll be able to improve 2 spirits in one go. So it won't be quite nearly as tedious as it might be otherwise. And the fact that we're actually about 4 levels over, 4 or 5 levels over what we need to be for this town, we're not going to have to worry about leveling for a little while, which is a good thing. All in all, it's a good night. And let me go ahead and tell you right now, to be this far in 2 days, oh, you don't know how much fun it is now. But yeah, next we'll be heading to a town, excuse me, and I'll probably be doing this tomorrow, called Lagon. The item we're going to get out of there is called the Sky Card. Oh yeah, I should mention this. There are items in the game, well, some of them are weird. Like, okay, if you see a CD, most people think compact disc. No. They're called cards. They actually help improve your affinity with certain spirits. Problem for me is I actually have one that's of no use, because only one person currently uses the fire spirit, and well, they're maxed out on it. Oh, here's the other cool thing. Despite the fact that you cannot teach new spirits to mercenaries, or you can't change their equipment, they can level up. So that's going to definitely help as we go and head on through, although, to be perfectly honest, I think Midia and Chenzi are going to be doing the bulk of the work. Where in my game, they're Joshua and Emily. There's a personal reason why I actually have the one named Emily, but we won't get into it. So anywho, that is the progress report for Paladin's Quest tonight. I shall talk to you all tomorrow night as we continue the journey. Good day, gang.